Make Her Love You for Life is a 9-hour video program that is also available on audio. When you watch or listen to the program, you will learn how to make a woman respect you, love you, and feel sexually attracted to you for life when in a relationship. Unfortunately for most men out there, they get into a relationship with a woman and it's good at the start, but then she eventually changes. For example, she loses interest in having sex or withholds sex. She stops being affectionate. She no longer respects him like she used to. She falls out of love with him. She stops being willing to work on the relationship and just gives up, even though he is treating her well and trying to make things work. She starts becoming interested in other men, which then makes him become insecure, angry, jealous, or controlling. She doesn't put in any effort to keep the spark alive. She expects him to do whatever she wants, and if he doesn't, she gives him the silent treatment, throws a tantrum, or stops being affectionate. She expects romantic gestures from him, but doesn't do much or anything for him in return. She creates unnecessary stress and problems in the relationship by being negative, moody, or stubborn. She shows more respect and love for her friends, co-workers, and family than she does for him. She starts spending more and more time away from him, for example, with her girlfriends, with her family, focusing on her career or other interests, and gets annoyed or angry if he brings it up. She goes from seeing him as the one to treating him as a housemate, a friend, or someone that she's only with until something better comes along. She gradually becomes a different person and stops treating him as well as she used to. She doesn't listen to what he tells her to do, and often seems to do the opposite just to annoy him or spite him. She expects him to change a lot of things about himself, but doesn't think that she needs to change much or anything about herself. She doesn't really appreciate all the nice things he does for her. And finally, she doesn't try to make him feel loved and doesn't care if he complains about it. Now, that's a horrible way to live life as a man. Right? When you're in a relationship with a woman who you really love, you care about, and you want the relationship to work, you don't want to be getting that sort of response from her. You want her to be loving you and feeling sexually attracted to you and putting in her share of effort. You want her to be contributing to the relationship and being a good woman for you rather than being a pain in the butt. Right, and creating drama, creating problems, and not giving you the love, respect, and affection that you deserve. So how do you fix the problem? Well, as it turns out, women don't actually want to treat you in that way. Right, when you're in a relationship with a woman and she treats you in that way, she doesn't actually want to be doing that. She wants to be treating you better. Yet, she's waiting for you to change the dynamic. Right, it really just comes down to what you say to her and what you do around her. You might have seen other guys when they're in relationships with women and the woman is really attentive towards him and affectionate and loving and she respects him and they have a great sex life and she's such a good woman for him. That's how a woman wants to treat you in a relationship. But the way that it works is that if you allow her to create the sort of dynamic in the relationship where she doesn't treat you well, then the whole thing starts to fall apart. Problems begin to emerge, right? She stops being affectionate, she stops respecting you, she stops listening to what you got to say, and she starts becoming a pain in the butt, basically. So what you need to realize is that you have a lot of direct control over how you make her feel and behave around you, right? She reacts in response to how you're talking, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you're behaving, right? She will treat you better if you just start to talk to her in a different way and behave in a different way and react to her in a different way. The reason why is that women, even though they don't admit it, are very passive and they go along with whatever the man does. For example, if you allow a relationship dynamic to develop where she's not affectionate toward you, she doesn't respect you, and she doesn't show love and she doesn't care about you much, then a woman will go down that path with you. However, if you create a relationship dynamic where she does show love and affection towards you, she initiates sex, she respects you, she listens to you, she treats you well, then she'll go down that path with you as well. You're in control of it. You can make her be one way or the other. Even if she's a very independent woman and she likes to think her way and do her own thing, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you are the man and she's going to follow your lead. The truth is that you can make her be a better woman for you, and the best thing of all is that she actually wants to do that. Right? A woman wants to be a great woman for you because it makes her feel good when she's like that. When a woman is so in love with her man, so respectful towards him and so attracted to him that she treats him well, initiates sex, she gets down and sucks him off, she cooks for him, she cleans, she does nice things for you, that actually makes her happy. You won't get many women admitting that in public though, but if you have a look at the women who are the happiest with their man, that's how they behave. A woman wants to be a woman in a relationship with a man. She wants you to make her be like that with you, and it's actually better for her and it's better for you. You get a better woman and she is happier. By the way, that's what I can teach you in my program, Make Her Love You for Life. I'll teach you exactly what to say and do to make her be the best woman that she can be for you. It makes her happy to be a good woman for you and do things that please you. I didn't always know this, by the way, and as a result, in the distant past, I got cheated on and then dumped. What happened to me is that I was hopeless with women in the past, right? And I couldn't get myself a girlfriend, and I managed to get lucky one night at a party where I was a bit drunk and the girl was a bit drunk, and we somehow managed to start kissing in the backyard of a house party, and then we got into a relationship. However, what happened is that I didn't know how to maintain her attraction, so she lost interest in me. She then started showing interest in other guys, and I became jealous and controlling. She then cheated on me and dumped me. And I was destroyed, right? It really killed my confidence, and it was back in the time where there was no one online helping other guys out with women, right? So I was on my own, and I didn't know how to get her back, and I'd lost so much confidence in myself that other women didn't like me as well. Eventually, when I started to realize that, okay, I need to get a new woman, I tried talking to other women and they just weren't interested. Even though I was a good guy, I thought of myself as being fairly intelligent, I had a good job, I was wearing nice clothes, I would treat the woman well, women just weren't interested. But all that changed when I worked out how to attract a woman during a conversation by displaying personality traits and behaviors that are naturally attractive to women. After I discovered that, I began to enjoy my choice of women, and I had a great time for over 10 years where I just lived that lifestyle of having many women in my life at once, and at times I got into a relationship for 6 months to a year or so, and what happened is that every time I got into a relationship, the woman wanted to either get married to me or start a family, but I just wasn't ready for that. Essentially, because of the approach that I was using in the relationship, which I now use with my wife, the woman would fall madly in love and just want to be the best that she could for me to maintain my interest and please me and make me happy. And it's exactly what my wife does as well. When I met my wife, she was 20 and I was 35, and we got into a relationship, and it wasn't until the 2-year point in the relationship where I eventually said yes and accepted her marriage proposal. I tell you what though, it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life, because even though the relationship was amazing at the start, it just gets better and better all the time. Right, my wife and I have been together for nearly 5 years now, and just the other night, for example, we were at it for an hour before going to bed. And that's not what you normally hear people say when they talk about marriage. What I used to hear all the time is you get married and then the sex stops, or you put a ring on her finger and then she stops putting out. Or once you move in together, the spark dies out and, the sex life dries up. Well, that's not what happens for me. And the reason why is that you can literally flick a switch in a woman's mind where you make her want to be the best woman for you, right? She wants to, and she feels happy being good to you, right? She feels happy going down on you, right, before you go to bed at night or in the morning, or she feels happy initiating sex. She feels happy cooking for you. She feels happy being a good woman for you. That actually makes her happy. And as I said, women don't necessarily go around admitting that in public. It's embarrassing for most women to admit that they want that and that it makes them happy. But when you see a woman who's truly happy in a relationship, she's with a man who makes her be like that. She treats him in that way, and she's happy doing it. The really cool thing is that it's so much easier for you than if you were to do it how so many other guys do out there. So many men out there make the mistake of essentially sucking up to their woman and trying to get their woman to love them by buying her jewelry, doing household chores, being as nice as they can to her, listening, caring, all that sort of stuff. And what do they get in return? They get nothing. They get a bitchy woman who is moody, doesn't listen to them, doesn't put out, and essentially wants everything her way, or else she throws a tantrum and gets angry and doesn't talk to him for 2 weeks or whatever. That's not a fun way to live life as a man, and the thing is, a woman doesn't even want it that way. A woman is at her happiest when she is with a man that she can look up to and respect, and she feels sexually attracted to and she's so in love with, and she's being good to him. That actually makes her so happy. right? She doesn't want to be a pain in the butt to you. She doesn't want to have to reject sex because she's not feeling attracted. She doesn't want to create problems between you and her and treat you badly. But the thing is, a woman will go along with whatever relationship dynamic you create and maintain. If you take her down the path of treating you badly and you put up with that and you allow her to be like that, then that's what you're going to get. But if you create the sort of dynamic where she wants to please you, she wants to make you happy, she wants to get down on her knees and suck you off, she wants to cook for you and things like that, then she's going to do that and she's going to be so happy. So if you'd like to learn how to flick that switch in a woman's mind where she wants to be the best woman for you at all times, I recommend that you watch or listen to Make Her Love You for Life. When you use the techniques from the program, a woman is like this. She looks up to you, respects you, and listens to what you say. She feels sexually attracted to you, initiates sex often, and wants to please you. She's not interested in other men and just wants to be with you. She continually tries to maintain your interest, attraction, and love by being on her best behavior and treating you well. She lets you do what you want with your free time. For example, catch up with friends or work on your hobbies or interests. She doesn't want to start fights with you or create drama over little issues because she wants to make you happy and be good to you. She takes responsibility for things that a man wants from his woman. For example, pleasing you sexually, cooking, cleaning, being supportive, staying out of your way if you want some time for yourself, being affectionate, complimenting you and appreciating you. She takes care of her appearance and always wants to look good for you. She shows respect for you in front of other people, rather than taking their side or putting you down in front of them. She is sensible and logical when you need her to be, for example, about finances or making decisions together as a couple, and she's sexy and naughty when you need her to be, for example, in the bedroom. She has such a strong attraction for you that simply hugging her or looking at her in a certain way turns her on and makes her want to have sex. She also loves to give you oral sex because it turns her on. She just loves the idea of pleasing you. It makes her happy. She happily does what you tell her to do without making a big fuss about it. For example, if you tell her to make you a coffee, stop complaining or creating drama about something, to be sensible or to listen to you. She makes you happy by being a good woman, rather than being moody and wasting your time with pointless arguments. She is affectionate towards you and enjoys being a loving, caring woman for you because it makes her happy to do it. And finally, she loves you, wants you, and only wants to be with you. Unfortunately, most guys don't experience that because they either give their woman too much power in the relationship or they just don't know how to make her feel attracted and turned on and respectful and in love anymore. A guy is usually able to do that well at the start and he's confident at the start of the relationship, but somewhere along the way, he loses his way, right? He forgets how to be that confident guy that he used to be. Or he loses touch with his ability to make her feel attracted and other women feel attracted in general. As a result, some guys start to become insecure in their relationship and they think, well, I don't even know how to make her feel attracted and she's losing interest. Damn, I better be really nice to her. I better be on my best behavior. I better do whatever she wants. Otherwise, I'm going to get dumped or cheated on. No, that is a huge waste of time and energy and it's not what she wants. What she really wants is to be a good woman for you. Right? She really wants to be able to respect you and look up to you and feel attracted to you and be in love with you. She really wants to enjoy pleasing you sexually. Right? She really wants to be like that and you can make her be like that. Right? It comes down to what you say and what you do, how you behave, how you react to her. That is what counts. And if you'd like to learn exactly how to do that, just watch or listen to Make Her Love You for Life and you will instantly have all the answers of how to have an amazing relationship with a woman. One final thing to point out is that when a woman is in a relationship with a man who doesn't create this type of relationship dynamic where she's so in love with him, so respectful of him and so attracted to him that she wants to be good to him, then she feels disappointed. Right? A woman waits for that to happen and if it doesn't happen, she doesn't do it. Most women do it at the start, right? When they're trying to be nice and get the guy into a relationship and they're on their best behavior, but if the relationship dynamic isn't there later on, the woman stops doing it. And she feels disappointed that the relationship is going that way. She doesn't actually want the relationship to be bad. She doesn't actually want to be treating her man badly. She's waiting for him to take the lead and bring the spark back, get her to respect him again, make her feel attracted, get that love back, make her want to be a good woman for him. That's what she's waiting for. And if he doesn't do it, she's disappointed. Then, if it goes on for long enough, she either cheats on him or breaks up with him. It just happens so often out there where A relationship starts out well and then it begins to fall apart over time. You don't have to go through that. I'm here to tell you that a relationship becomes increasingly happy and enjoyable over time. Your woman does not lose interest in having sex with you. She does not become a bitch and start disrespecting you. She does not fall out of love with you. That happens when the wrong relationship dynamic is in place, but if it is, a guy can easily change that. He's just got to start talking to her in a different way, behaving in a different way, and reacting to her in a different way, and she instantly changes. She becomes a better woman. She stops being a pain in the butt. She stops rejecting sex and starts initiating it, right? She stops creating problems and starts being a good woman for him. That's what you can have. So if you want to learn my secrets for having an amazing, happy, sexual relationship with a woman for life, I recommend that you watch or listen to Make Her Love You for Life.